Adhyapanam Brahmayajna Pitrayajnastu Tarpanam Homo Devo Balirbhauto Nriyajnyo Atiti Pujanam. There are five areas of being a contributor, a participant in the world.
What is Guru and why should one have a Guru, and what is Guru Bal?
A great value is given to Guru because Guru is one who removes self-ignorance. Gukara sandhakaro vai rukarastan nivartakaha andhakara nirodhitvat gururitya vidhiyat. Nowadays we use the word Guru for everything, and a Guru, even a gangster head is called a Guru, right?
In his context.
Any context, Guru. We are the only culture, living ancient culture on this planet which can boast of seeing sanctity in life. The Naga Shaktis, I found they are the prominent Shaktis that are interacting with the villagers who live there, who trust them, who believe in them in day-to-day life. Simple day-to-day living also these beings are guiding. Message I would say for the people of our country and people of this planet. Ganga is mother not only for Indian citizens, but she's the mother of the planet, our way of life. We need to know this because this is how we will empower ourselves, our children, and protect the spiritual traditions of Himalayas, Ganga, and rest of India.
Very good morning. Good morning all. Good morning Ammaji. I took the blessings of yours and it's my lifetime opportunity. It's God's blessings, divine's wish that I should be here, and I'll be a student for the next 3 hours, and I will unlearn and I will learn. I also want to admit myself this podcast is all about me as a person to transform to a better person. I believe that one best thing that any human can do is admit his mistakes, what he has done in his life, surrender to a guru, learn new things, transform yourself to the next level. I'm very happy I am doing this podcast in the divine place of Vanalingeshwara, Kartika Masam, and with the blessings of yours. Let's start our podcast. As a layman, and from a lot of questions will be asked from them also, we want to know what is spirituality. Why should someone I'm spiritual because in childhood somebody told me that do namaskara or take blessings of elders or go to this god. It can be anyone, but spirituality is something which is told by my father. My father was told by his father. It has come from elders. But if you can address it to the whole audience, that what is spirituality, why spirituality is required, and where is the status of spirituality in today's world? It's all yours.
That's a big question.
Yes.
Because the answer is also not small. There is no spirituality minus the divine. In fact, we say there is no life without spirituality. The tradition that teaches us spiritual living is the tradition of this land. That's why India, Bharat was called the spiritual cradle of world civilizations because it had an answer for a very deep call of every soul of this planet. Many a time we ourselves don't know what we are searching. No, we are searching, we are looking. And a good part of one's life goes in the confusion, what is it I want? When you begin to think, this is what I want, this is the profession I want, this is the career I want, this is the relationship I want. And then very soon it changes. Things change, context changes, situations change, mind changes. Then we go on another search. No, that was not what I wanted. I wanted this and that. And so we find ourselves, decades of our life go in a wild goose chase. Spirituality is that answer, that education, which every human being needs to have, which helps me understand my own search to begin with.
Who am I?
My search. Let's not go to the next paradigm. I would say my search, my call. Why am I restless? Why am I not happy? What is it I think will fulfill my. Why today is not okay? Why, as I am, I'm not happy with myself. Why do I have a complex? Why do I feel I'm not pretty enough or I'm not smart enough? And so nothing is enough as I am. This search, whose answer we search, we look for in the external world, spirituality says you can search all you want, but the truth is the real answer comes from in you, within you. The answer is with you. The answer is not outside you. So when your search turns inwards for answers, that journey, that approach to life, to your own quest, is called a spiritual living. And when you really feel you have found answers and you begin to own it up, you begin to go deep into it, then your life and lifestyle becomes of a spiritual, transformation begins to kick in.
Yes. I think you nicely put it across. As you rightly said, it's a deep ocean. Spirituality is a big subject we can speak for a day and months. With your permission, I would like to. I have three questions in my heart always. One is first is people say that japam, dhyanam, and adhyanam. For a layman, I may not know what is japam. Why is dhyanam so important in a day? And why you should adhyan something, why you should read a scripture, or you're teaching Gita, your Guruji is teaching Sanskrit. So there is a lot of science and there's a lot of uh, practice we require in a day-to-day basis. How these three things, japam, dhyanam, and adhyanam, will transform me a better individual who can contribute to society. We all of us till now are takers. We only take. There's little contribution back to the universe, to the world. As you are a contributor. You're contributing wisdom, knowledge. You're talking about a lot of things. So how can these three things will be beneficial to society and individuals as we.
Very nice. I would, in the sequence, I would put Adhyayanam as
Oh,
first.
okay.
The Veda says, Dve vidye veditavye, paracha aparacha. Knowledge is of two types, knowledge of the world and knowledge of the self, knowledge of the object and knowledge of the subject. We all spend, 20 years of our life in picking up knowledge of the objective world. We have so many disciplines to be able to understand nature in whichever we may be drawn to physics or biology or chemistry or math. This all knowledge of creation. The more I understand the workings of creation through learning about it, when I study it, I can apply my life in this world and draw the best out of it. I will understand the world to know what it can give us, how I can make a human life intelligent as it's supposed to be in living in this planet. So we go through education and we learn how to abstract, we learn how to theorize, we learn how to deduct, deduce, we learn how to conclude, we learn how to research. It's phenomenal disciplines are there so that our life becomes better and better, is it not? So when we do this for the world of objects, isn't there a science which also addresses the world of the subject?
Correct.
Who wants to know the world? What about I knowing me? You know, you even to know your body, you take so many 7 years of basic education.
Correct.
To know your mind, to know your life force, to know how this created being is connected to the creator. You know, how I am connected to my biological mother and father. So we go through all these DNA testings and so on and so forth. So where have I come from? This is called spiritual education. In the language of the Veda, it is called Paravidya. And so human beings have the capacity and in fact have the right, have the birthright to have both these pieces of knowledge to make life complete. Purna. That's why Purna Vidya. Your life is incomplete if you only stay with the world of objects and know nothing about me. I surprise myself all the time. Why? Because I don't understand me. Human beings surprise us. Why? Because we don't understand people. But if we begin to understand the subject and what the mind is about, what the soul is about, and so on, then nothing surprises you in life. Life becomes a what do you call, piece of cake. It becomes smooth. It becomes joyful. It becomes graceful, you know. You learn to wade in the waters. And so, Paravidya and Aparavidya both. Swadhyaya, when you say, or daily Adhyayanam, is about Paravidya. Aparavidya society gives us.
Absolutely.
Through school, college, education. But Paravidya, the knowledge of the self, the disciplines of the self, how to understand my senses, my cravings, my addictions, you know. Before people know, they become addicts because they didn't recognize that somewhere in your love for a drink or two, it would flip one day and make a person an alcoholic. So when that turn took place was not in a person's awareness. Why? They didn't understand their minds. They didn't understand how one needs to live a life of restraint and so on and so forth. And so Adhyayanam is part of daily living.
Okay.
And number 2, you talked about japa. It's a very powerful sadhana, spiritual practice. When we talk about living a human life in harmony with inner harmony and harmony around, what is it that throws off your harmony? One's own likes, dislikes, passions, uncontrolled desires,
Correct.
not being a compulsive behavior.
Agreed.
hormones, you know. For a young person, you know, they forget what they are doing. Anger comes and you just start throwing things around. And so to be able to know what is a restraint, when you restrain the sense organs, we call it dhamma. When you restrain the thought process, the subtler, the next level, that is called shama. And so this dhamma and shama, learning to restrain without making it a suppression. I take pride in saying no to drugs. I take pride. No pressure in, no peer pressure in the world can make me say
Forcing.
yes. But this person is not ordinary because he's able to think clear, he's able to stand by his statement, he has the willpower.
Correct.
And so japa is a great tool that teaches us to work with our mind. I sit for japa, mind jumps all over like a monkey. I say, sit here, do Om Namah Shivaya, Panchakshari, Shivratri. 10 minutes it will oblige. 11th minute it will go to Shiva Subramanyam, who had a son, and his son was Mahadevan. And you go all over the place.
Correct.
Where? In meditation. Because no restraint, no shama. I don't know how to draw the mind back to a decision I only have made. And so japa is a conscious process. It's a discipline
Daily.
which helps me break this spinning of the mind driven by likes and dislikes.
Distractions.
Yeah, distractions. So we say jakaro janma vicheda, pakaro papanashanaha, janma karma haro yasmat tasmat japa iti smritaha. People do purascharanam of japa, you know, lakhs and lakhs of times, one mantra. They become Siddha Purushas.
Sri Ram. Jai Shri Ram.
Just japa, ek Ram Nam.
That's it.
Yeah, made a Valmiki, you know. Yes, Rama Rama.
Ram.
So a japa is so absorbing. When mind begins to flow with the japa, when the breath begins to flow with the japa, then japa has blessed you really.
And the, while we carry a hand, put a hand on Rudraksha and do
Yes.
a japa, I've seen my grandmother doing it.
Yes.
The calmness when at the 85 years of her age also, when I see her, there's a divinity and calmness in her mind. I think these things really matter so much.
Yeah.
Yes.
You learn how to restrain
Correct.
your tongue. And in restraint on tongue, the mind can go into suppression.
Absolutely.
Japa will give you the strength to say no, stop thinking, don't spin, you know, don't build up. This build up, one thought is never a problem. It is a build up which is a problem. And therefore, japa helps me stay with a single thought at a single moment. You remain simple. You don't spin. That's why japa is a daily anushtanam. And japa in itself leads to dhyanam. Because when from multiple, you know, thought frameworks, I filter and I'm able to dilate and I'm able to thin out the mind and stay with one mantra for a length of time, then that one mantra moves between sound and silence and sound and silence until a time comes when the sound surrenders to the silence and then doesn't need to move again into a sound or a form, you know. And that is called absorption in the silence. Dhyanam is an absorption where the mind has reached home. When it is attempting to reach home, we call this meditation. when it reaches its home, its baseline, its source, we call that samadhi. And so, meditation is the effort towards reaching to your own core self, which is free from
Your inner
all
soul.
sounds and
Yes.
names and forms, a formless me.
Thank you, Ammaji. My next question is, a lot of people do dhyanam, japam, and they get into a day to day life. And I will not generalize it, but let's say I'll take my example. I get anger, I get jealousy,
Yeah.
I get distracted. Sometimes the financial things, uh, a greed, a lot of things distract me, or a lot of things. My ego, my ego is the
Yeah.
biggest thing which anyone battles. Is that I always say that everybody goes, but ego should go. But uh, but how do you will this doing japa and dhyana and be like that? That you are jealous, you're hatred on somebody, you fight, will this work if you do japa and do daily puja? There are a lot of people who go daily to temple, but they do all kind of wrong things. So how do you
Yeah.
address
Yeah.
this is the state of, because there are so many people go to temple
Yeah.
but they come back and also
Yeah.
how do you address it, man? So
See, going to temple is a religious exercise.
correct,
Having Shraddha, faith in Bhagavan is a religious exercise. You're a good devotee, a good
correct,
bhakta, because you remember Bhagavan every day and you do light your lamp and all that. But why are you living your life?
yes,
What are your dreams? What is it you what do you see your life purpose, your life goal? That requires spiritual education if you need to bring that Bhagavan into your daily living, you know. And minus that, these people are not wrong. They are religious people. But they are people who have their likes, dislikes. They have their ambition, sometimes over ambition. Sometimes they want things that is not feasible to fulfill. Then there's frustration, there is anger, there is non understanding. These are human challenges because there is absence of spiritual education. We do not know how to integrate spirituality into my life.
soul.
We think spirituality means it's you have to sit in Tapovan in Himalayas, you know, in the glacier to be spiritual. And I'm worldly means I am in the heart of Bombay city. You may sit there and be a samsari, or you may sit in the city and be spiritual. It's not about your context, it's about your mission of life. It's about what you want, you know.
Purpose.
What is it I want? Let's first decide what I want. We are so pragmatic. Human beings are the best race Bhagwan could deliver on this planet. Brilliant, so awareful, so conscious, so intelligent. No
Yes,
life
yes.
form comes anywhere near what we can achieve on this planet. We can go to other planets.
Yes, we are going.
Which life on earth can make that jump?
Yes.
So we are outstanding race, no doubt about it. But it's important that we decide what we want. What once you know what you want money, okay, then be ready for this, the pluses and minuses of this. You
Correct.
want to be part of the money game, learn the game and play it well. They say no.
Yes.
You want power, learn the game and play. Then play. It's a gamble. Everything is a gamble.
Yes.
But if you are looking to know who you are, if your goal is paravidya, and in the search of knowing my essence, I am told by my tradition that I am a divine being, I'm a sacred being, I'm a non physical being, living in the physical realm, but my essence is I'm a being of light. And if that becomes my destination, if that's my goal of life, then I will learn I'll educate myself on how to get there. What I should do, what I shouldn't do, what will bring me closer to my goal, what will take me away from my goal. I will need an education on that. And once educated, it's about getting on track and doing the needful, no? Confusion in society is because we don't know what we want. We want one thing. Okay, if you want that, then what is the means to achieve there? I want to go to US. What is my means? Well, buy a flight ticket to New York or to Chicago or to one of those international airports. You're not going to buy a ticket to Australia because you want to go to US. So your destination is clear, then your means, you must be intelligently picked up to reach me to my destination. And so what is it I want? That is very important to declare. If I am not clear what I want, I will be confused. We say in Sanskritam, my teacher used to say, he was a Sanskritam person, but he would just make fun. He would say, Swayam confused, yourself confused, Swayam confused, Paran confusayeti. Because bhavati, khadati is Sanskritam. So paran means others.
Yes.
Confusayeti.
Confuse
You are
everyone.
confused, you confuse everybody
Yes,
else.
absolutely. Right. I think in a way you're saying that you know who you are.
No, you
Purpose of
decide what is your
your
purpose.
purpose of life.
And in this also, the basic education is there, spiritual education. The tradition guides us, shows us that every human being lives for either material securities or material pleasures, artha or kama.
Karma.
The whole humanity is either to secure myself for the future. I want a home for what? Security. I want children for what? So that I continue to live on in this world. So all these wants and being what I want, then I go behind what I want. How quickly I can make the money to become secure. Despite the more I work to become secure, the more insecure I become. Now that's a different issue. But at least I have clarity. I want to be a billionaire. Wonderful. Work for it. That's your goal, mission. Maybe you will discover in the process that is this really what's going to make me secure or not? Let that be your growth process, life process. But you want, then get your right path for it. You want karma? Here we earn to save, and then we go and burn it shopping in Singapore. And so why? Because karma. I just want to purchase, experience foreign purchases. All right, go. Do it. So I work for karma. I work for artha.
Artha.
All right? That is a basic life of every human being. But is that the destination for which I'm born as a human being? Tradition beautifully says, ahara nidra bhaya maithunam cha samanyam etat pashubin naranam. We are no different from other life forms if artha and kama is all we think we want in life. That's really not why a human being is born human. Because even animals can fulfill their securities. A rabbit burrows for the winter because there won't be food. The bird makes a nest on the tree, not in front of your doorstep, because it won't be there tomorrow morning. And it's secure. That place is secure. Every life works for its security, its progeny, its food. And so what is unique about us? Fulfilling karma, every life form fulfills karma. You can see that in nature. What is unique about we? If there is something unique, tradition says, our ancestors said, dharmo hi tesham adhiko visheshaha. Dharme nahi naha pashubhis samanaha.
You're equal to
Huh?
animals.
Dharma is what makes you a human. Why? Because you have been given a privilege. You have been given such a power, a faculty of choice, which other life forms don't have. They are naturally dharmic, programmed into dharma. But I have been given the power to choose dharma. And if a human being is able to make this a predominant process in his life, fulfilling artha and kama, where I don't cross dharma, that takes phenomenal sukshmata, it's a capacity to
Sida.
understand cosmic
Law.
laws, harmony with the world. There is a lot that you learn when you're committed to dharma, and that is education into a life of harmony with society, with plants, with the other world, with the earth. And so, dharma is a pursuit.
Dharmo rakshati rakshita.
Dharmo rakshati rakshita. It's a pursuit. It doesn't say you can't earn artha and kama. No, go ahead, but keep dharma always. Let this not clash dharma. And when you live a life for dharma, and no, you will not transcend that, cross your boundaries of dharma and move into adharma. You won't violate the natural laws. Understand your roles and responsibilities and don't violate them, don't transgress them. That blesses a person. Why? Because that makes me seek deeper, more fundamental questions about life, about living, about me, what I am all about, and why it is the way it is.
Yes.
And that pursuit then becomes the pursuit of moksha
Moksha.
or spirituality.
Wonderfully said.
And so this is how the broad categorization of what is it you want, what is your predominant pursuit, educate oneself and make a decision. If you have decided dharma, then look for the journey that will keep you in dharma. Look for an environment conducive to support dharma in you. If it is artha, beyond dharma, well, good luck, we pray for you. But pick up your journey and see the outcomes. Take responsibility for your decision as to what you want. We need to first arrive at what we want, and then appropriate paths will open up for us. It's beautiful.
And I will ask this question. My life is not on track for X number of reasons. And I want to put myself and my life on track.
What do you mean, track?
Track means I am not, moksha is a very larger word in this capacity, in this today's world, corporate world. Moksha is something which we can discuss later. But what are the things that an individual uh, to do right in a day or to do right things in a life that he achieves the final thing which is moksha? That can you, if you can elaborate little about it, it will help me
Yeah.
as an individual,
Yes.
people who are
Yes.
listening to us, will
Yes.
also put us in right track because we have lot of distractions, Amaji,
Yes.
and
Yes. Yes.
in
Yes.
life.
Yes.
So we don't live in harmony. We don't. That means that goes to an inner peace. There is no inner peace. Your mind is somewhere. Your
Yes.
actions are something, and your results are something. So
Yes.
you can,
Yes.
if you can enlighten us with it, that how a day should be for an individual.
Yes. Yes.
Of course, as you right said, dharmo rakshati rakshita, and dharma is the base for us. And please, Samaj.
No, this is very true. We need to begin at the beginning, you know. And we all grow up to becoming adults.
Yes.
All of us are physical adults.
Okay.
We also have good education to become good survivors in society. But there is another developmental process for every human being that often gets overlooked, you know. See, a human child, if you see, a child physically grows. Whether you educate a child or not, that physical growth is given. Child will become an adult, you know, eventually become an adult, eventually be ready to conceive her own child if she's a girl child, and a man, you know, to be able to become a father. This is given. Biological adulthood is given.
I'm a product of biology.
Biological adulthood is given.
Yeah.
Similarly, education. What does education do? Because cognitively, we need to be supported and guided. For what? To be able to become an adult. A child is not cognitively abstract enough. It only works with tangibles, you know. If mother is not around, she is disappeared, starts crying. Mother was here and then she just went to the kitchen. Child doesn't reason.
Yes.
If she's not here, she might be there.
Yeah.
Even if I don't see, I can infer. It doesn't have the skill of inference.
Correct.
And so when the mother goes away, it panics, it cries, and my caretaker is gone. So cognitive education is an education to learn what is, even if I don't see, it exists.
Yes.
And so perception, inference, postulate, deduction, abstraction, and theorizing, all these are skills, cognitive skills. To become a human adult, human child is given education. With education, the support system, we become adults cognitively and physically, of course, without any aid
Yes.
except for food and sleep and so on. We have another growth to happen from childhood to adulthood. It's called emotional growth.
It's missing.
Emotional growth, because emotions also I need to cross. My need for mother's milk. My need will be how long? Not till you're 10 years old. That need is crossed when you have shifted to solid foods. So there is a time when you need, and there is a time when you transcend the need, you know, and transition into the next growth, emotional growth. That's why we call these rites of passages, samskara karmas. Every faith has these, you know.
Yes.
Why? Because it marks the quantum leaps in emotional growth. And so this emotional growth is growing up to becoming a
Evolved.
adult.
Better evolved.
And what is this adulthood? As a child, I was a receiver. Very selfish. No child is really a giver. The older brother, it's not easy to give the chocolate, share the chocolate with the younger child. No. Ask the siblings to share one toy. Parents have to buy two. Anything you have to buy two in the homes because we are selfish as children. Now, I matter the most. When I become an adult, that need of I shifts. That also shifts. It's supposed to shift.
Yes.
By becoming, by giving to my parents, giving to my siblings, giving to
Friends,
my friends, giving to
society.
my teachers. So whatever else is around, I start giving, giving, giving. And that means adulthood is about from being a consumer, an emotional, mature person is one who becomes predominantly a contributor. And how does he contribute? Emotionally stable enough to become a contributor. How? Again, I would say our great tradition, spiritual tradition, has given us all this master key, Pancha Maha Yajna. They said every day five-fold contribution in life. You first count where from you received. You have been a recipient from which sources? Identify those sources. And tradition has identified five broad categories where I kept receiving, receiving, receiving. And therefore, as an adult, I keep giving. I received every day of my childhood. I give back every day of my adulthood. Adhyapanam Brahma Yajna, Pitra Yajnastu Tarpanam, Homo Daivo Balir Bhauto Nre Yajnyo Atiti Pujanam. There are five areas of being a contributor, a participant in the world. And we begin with our home. Without my ancestors, without this legacy, without the culture of my parents and grandparents and great grandparents, I won't be as noble as I am today.
Absolutely.
And this is how each person owns up their family heritage, is it not? People who can go to ancestral homes, people who can identify their villages. Oh, my great grandfather lived in this house. What a power that is. Because you connect, you cross time and connect to your roots. And so that connectedness is a part of you, the eternal I,
Yes.
just sparks with energy
Ignition.
and great sense of rootedness. And therefore, this giving back to the family by serving our children, by contributing to our elders. The senior citizen homes are all today.
Yes.
You want somebody to take care of your parents just because you have some money. I can't, I can't. Parents never said, I can't. I'll put you in an orphanage because I can't, I'm not earning enough. Or I don't have the time. They never said that to us. Day and night, their love,
Yes.
their nurturance, whatever mother went through, father went through, their struggle, children don't even find out what they go through unless they become parents,
Yes.
Then they ask, Amma, how did you raise four of us? I can't manage one, they ask. And therefore, my point is this willingness to serve the parent generation, the children, to guide them, to be there. This is, you're a contributor. Emotionally, you are a giver.
Yes.
Similarly, giving to your spiritual tradition is called Brahma Yajna. I've learned so much of dharma and nobility, spirituality, about Ishvara, about the divine. The culture talks about this all the time. And so my work is to give back to the spiritual learning centers, to the ashrams, to the gurus, to the people, the stalwarts who protect our tradition, our temple traditions.
Heritage.
These temples were not built to be raised to the ground.
Yes.
Thousands of years, phenomenal knowledge of art, architecture, Agama Shastra, Shilpa Shastra, so much knowledge manifest in this marvel of Brihadishwar temple, of Perur temple and so on. And therefore I protect. It's my duty to be a participant and a protector
Contribute.
of my heritage. This is called Brahma Yajna. The first is called Pitra
Yeah.
Yajna.
Family.
And then we have Bhuta Yajna. So many life forms on earth are contributing to my life. Without these trees, who will absorb my carbon dioxide?
Plants.
Without them, where will there be freshness in the air? And so they give us. Without those fishes in the ocean, our oceans won't be, rivers won't be clean.
Eco balance.
Yes.
Balance.
Without the earthworms, the earth will not be fertile. Every life here is contributing to our life. They are programmed and therefore we are lucky.
They don't have that artha and kama.
We are lucky. Artha kama है, लेकिन साथ साथ धर्म है. They have artha kama because they are living
Yes,
life.
you're right.
But dharma is programmed.
Dharma is
Therefore,
programmed.
they don't violate. What makes us harmonious to universal harmony is aligning consciously, choosing to align to dharma,
Correct.
than violating dharma. That's where I become a human adult, a contributor.
Absolutely.
And so we call this Bhuta Yajna. Fourth is Deva Yajna. Without the rain, without the sun, without all these planets doing their role, without the wind divinity doing his work, how will all the pollen move from place to place?
Orbit.
So the elements are the celestial worlds. Give back to them. At least don't pollute the air or the waters.
All panchabhutas.
Panchabhutas, protect them is my duty as a contributor. To become part of this harmony. 4. I
All
told you there are 5.
4 you told.
Fifth is Atithi Yajna, Nra Yajna. There is nothing like acknowledging the human race, all the different people who make our life possible what it is. Today we proudly hold this iPhone and just scroll. How much intelligence, how much brilliance, how much thousands and lakhs of hours and generations and research went into bringing the world to your palm.
Vedic maths.
Be grateful.
Yes, yes.
Be grateful to those heroes who stood in the borders in winters and summers away from their loved ones so that you can celebrate your life here.
Yeah.
Thank you. Those farmers in the field. So, Nriyajna, serving society, giving to human beings, where there is need, where people have less than what we have, is our duty.
Responsibility.
5-fold areas of contribution makes this Pancha Mahayajna for cosmic harmony. The more human race aligns to becoming contributors, the more peaceful nature will be, our lives will be. Hai ki nahi? Isn't it so?
So 5 things you said. First is family. Know your grandfathers, forefathers, why they have.
Yes.
Second, you spoke about it.
Yes.
So as a society, we need to contribute towards these. When fishes do their duty with dharma, what are we doing? We are not even contributing.
Yes.
They are contributing more to the world. Is what last you said, Nara.
Yeah.
It is so that
If we take to this, we're not even talking spirituality here.
correct.
If we take to this, we won't be confused.
Absolutely.
If we take these 5-fold responsibilities, we will find strength and fullness and peace, because you can never wipe a tear and be sorrowful. You have to be one notch up to wipe another tear. And in that wiping somebody's tear, you become a happier person.
It's all about alignment.
By being a contributor.
Thank you.
Alignment by being a contributor.
Maji, in our tradition, Matru Deo Bhava, Pitru Deo Bhava, Acharya Deo Bhava, or Guru Deo Bhava, right from saints of Adi Shankaracharya, who's the Adi Guru, who's traveled across all over India and did a lot of things to the society. And we are all products of a guru. The first guru is Amma, and then we find gurus. Some don't have gurus. In spirituality, and especially in Indian spirituality, the Guru Balam or the role of Guru, right from scriptures of Ramayana, Ram is out of. So there is a lot of base for us to enlighten us with this what is Guru and why should one have a Guru and what is Guru Balam.
Very, very profound insight you have, because in the world civilization, I would say this is one culture, only culture, which has what we call the Guru Parampara, an unbroken parampara tradition of Guru, you know. A great value is given to Guru because Guru is one who removes self-ignorance.
Self-ignorance.
Paravidya, aparavidya, I
Aparavidya.
talked about.
Yes, yes.
So the one who gives you paravidya, one who removes the ignorance of who you are, that person is called Guru. Gu, gukara sandhakaro vai, rukarastan nivartakaha, andhakara nirodhitvat, gururitya vidhiyate.
He's the one.
Nowadays, we use the word guru for everything,
Everything.
you know. And a guru, even a gangster head is called a guru,
Guru.
right?
In his context.
Any context, guru. Dance guru, music
Guru.
guru, you know, she taught me cooking, my cooking
Guru.
guru. It's become a very, very contemporary, casual expression. But the very word guru is indicating removal of self-ignorance. Gu is andhakara, ru is
Darkness.
removing of andhakara.
Darkness.
So now, what is the big deal? You have physics guru, chemistry guru, you know. So for aparavidya, you don't call them guru. They're also removing ignorance. What is it that, why this name is given to people who take care of shedding self-ignorance? Because your self happens to be not an ordinary self. Your essence, your core happens to be divine. The mortal that you think you are, your core is you are not. आप तो ईश्वर का स्वरूप हो. You are a reflection of the divine.
Vibhuti.
Reflection of the divine, you know. And so this Atma Darshanam, taking the mortal being to his immortal truth of himself, is not an ordinary journey. And that journey entails a lot of disciplines, lot of cleansing, physical, mental, emotional, maturing, focus, prayers, being a devotee, bringing out of this person a deep founding relationship with the planet, which is being a devotee of this world. Be connected to the creator by being a created being. It's your fundamental relationship. Now, this particular process, like a father and mother, is a lifelong
Teachers,
journey
gurus.
of life is not without them. They play a role in your life equation throughout. So too a guru plays
A pivotal role.
a role throughout your life, because the guru's guidance is what is needed for me to unravel this great secret, this great master equation that thou art, which is the spiritual backbone of Bharat. And so this tradition came to us as a revelation by the great seers. Our tradition was not founded by a person on a particular day. We don't have one founder. There's no one book and one date. No, it is eternal, it's Sanatana. So, this knowledge is a knowledge gifted to us as a revelation
Flows.
by the divine himself. And therefore, the recipients were rishis, they were seers, they were sages. They gave to others who were also elevated souls. So the recipient needs to have a quality of a mind which is mature and available to receive. And so people who were prepared, life is a preparation for that. To those souls, this knowledge is given. Then that person who received became a teacher for his student, became a teacher for his student. And so Guru Shishya Parampara takes off. And so we talk about Adi Guru. Who's your first Guru? Oh, he is the first Shishya of his Guru. Nain. The first Guru is one who never needed to be a Shishya of any Guru. He is the first Guru.
Adi.
And that is only the omniscient being, Bhagwan.
Absolutely.
Because he doesn't need to be a disciple of anybody to be a Adi Guru. Therefore, it goes back to the divinity, Ishvara, or we call him Dakshinamurti, Shiva.
Sure.
And so that from the Lord has come Guru Parampara, and therefore the subject matter being so sacred, it unlocks the sanctity that is creation. It unlocks to us to understand, to know that that Lord, the divinity, is the world is a manifestation of the divine, and the one who can take me into this knowledge, that person becomes very reverential, very exalted, because he takes me to my fourth Purushartha, destination of life, called moksha. Dharma, Artha, Kama, and moksha. Who will be able to guide me to that? Only one who has received this knowledge that you are that thou art. The divine is in you. And to say that, the person who lives a life given in that teaching alone, it will be able to say something that will impact your life. Such people are called gurus.
Pedigree. Yes,
They are the people. That's why this nation has revered Guru Parampara. And we have this beautiful robes. And why? Because orange is, the color of the burning fire, the coal, the embers, burning embers. This is the color of the burning embers. Where there is the fire of knowledge, darkness cannot stand.
Beautiful.
And here is a walking fire of knowledge, self-knowledge. And so, sannyasis, monks, the saffron souls were highly revered in our tradition because they became representatives of the divine. Their life is a living example. And one who learns and evolves and grows, his personal pursuit goes way beyond artha and kama and even dharma. That's what happened to Arjuna in the battlefield in Gita. Dharma was not giving him the answer to his basic questions. And because he was now ready for moksha, actually. And so the Gita was taught to him. So Guru Parampara, rightly you said, Matra Devo Bhava, Pitra Devo Bhava, Acharya. Guru is Acharya Devo Bhava and Atithi Devo Bhava. And so then when with all the learning, spiritual learning, you deal with your human race, you always, like these two hands are separate from each other, but they belong to one person. I and you are in separate bodies, but we are connected in one divinity. Namaha te. Unto that divinity, I bow. And what do you do? Namaha te, namaste. Bowing to each other's divinity in each other is how we begin the relationship.
Thank you so much, Ammaji. I uh, I'm there in Purna Vidya since yesterday, and yesterday I was part of your day. Started with a good prayer. You sitting in front of us with a lot of students. Then you made us to do dhyanam, which is you spoke about the dhyanam was all about gratitude. Yesterday's class was about gratitude. Then you made us to learn Gita, which is your adhyan, what you did. And then Swamiji came and they taught us the Sanskrit. Sanskrit will help us to do a good ucharan when we are doing a Vedic chanting, and Vedic chanting classes happen. And evening we chant in front of God. So uh, this is what I experienced in a day in Purna Vidya. Thank you so much for that. I think this will only enlighten me and align me and to be a better person from today, since yesterday. So that thank you so much for that. But I want to know how this your journey and the role of guru uh, in your life. I want to listen from you that at the age of 8, I heard from Vinodji that you're a trained Kuchipudi dancer and a Bharatanatyam dancer. So, how this journey of spirituality, and now you are at a Guru Sthanam and you are teaching us, you're doing a great work, we'll come to that. But who are those Adi Gurus? Who are those Gurus in your life who really gave this path to you, Vachi?
A long journey from the age of 8, I must say. The first source of inspiration for me as a child, and this was a samskara that influenced greatly by my father and mother. They were great devotees of Shirdi Sai Baba. And early days in the 50s and 60s, there wasn't even one hotel room there.
Yeah,
There
Shirdi
was
was
nothing. It was
raw.
a
It was
different
very,
world.
yes.
That is the Shirdi I know.
Jatka, you used to
From
go to.
childhood, from the time of birth, it was, I grew up in Mumbai, and so it was every 3 months was a visit to that place. And as a child, I somewhere in my mind, I didn't have many relatives I grew up with. It was a nuclear family. And so when we went so frequently to the village, commonly family says, gaon ja rahe, we're going to the village. And then I believe we are going to our village, my village. And there I see this samadhi and this human being who is now not there. Then I assumed he is our tata, our maybe great grandfather or somebody. And so, as a little child, I kept seeing, oh, we had such a great saint in our lineage, and
Society.
very innocently, deeply inside, there was a conclusion. And talking about him, moving where he moved, sitting where he sat, and the qualities and his miracles, his simplicity, and his life was so awesome. It was so magical. In a child's mind, it was very magical. And father's devotion to him, mother's devotion to him, and an older brother, he's also devoted. So I also grew up seeing this saint, wanting to be saintly. I began to recognize that what these are the qualities that we all should have, because I was drawn to him. My whole family was drawn to him.
And when we read Sai Charitra, the kind of philosophy, the kind of
Yes,
foresightedness,
yes,
I
yes,
think you
yes.
were mesmerized by.
So I was really mesmerized by as a little one, and then I wanted. I wish he was alive so I could interact with him and learn. Was my thinking. And when I was 3 years old, it's 1962. This going to Shirdi started from my birth.
Oh,
And when I was about 3, 4 year old, Swami Chinmayananji was in Mumbai, and my family got associated with him, and we began to
but
see this person. He was the closest who came to Shirdi Sai
yeah.
in my mind.
Oh,
And then over the years, a decade later, came Pujya Shri Swami Dayanand
yeah.
Saraswati in that mission. And this person was to live in that ashram while Swami Chinmayananji were to travel and teach all over the world. And so we had many throughout the year in school, later in college times. It was very easy to access Swami Dayanandji, and I saw in him also these beautiful qualities that I had envisioned in that saint. And I used to go and ask Swami Dayanandji, so I want to become like you. What should I do to become like a child,
Oh,
innocently asking. And he would say, learn the scriptures. I became like this because all answers are in the scriptures. So scripture became he directed me to
correct.
the Shastra. So who will teach me? I will teach you. So that became the next destination of life. So shall I come next summer holidays? No, finish your education, then you come. That's how my guru, the great Advaita Vedanta seer and master,
Yeah.
Jagat Guru, I became his disciple, and slowly and gradually I I went to learn. I completed the education. Everything he said I did, followed the rules, and he took me in. And as we came into the tradition of learning, after that there was no going back. So yes, very young I moved, but he saw to it that
You.
I had my education. I became a microbiologist. I studied in NYU. So he ensured that education was complete, and he made sure I worked for a few years so that I must know what society is, how people live, how people earn, how people are normal people. And I would say, but Swamiji, if I'm not going to do that, then why do I need to do that?
So it
No,
is.
no, no. Educate yourself so that tomorrow, if you need to help somebody, you know for yourself what it takes, the value of money, the value of family life. You
Family.
will understand. You learn to earn, and you start teaching and helping and serving people. Move into their families, you will understand.
So, Maji,
So,
with your this thing at 3 years old, Shirdi Sai Nada, you saw, you went, your parents took to Shirdi and all. From that time, that you always,
From birth to Shirdi, and when I was 3 years old, Swami Chinmayananji,
yeah,
and when I was 11 years old,
Dayanandji,
Swami Dayananji.
Dayanandji,
These are the gurus who, helped me come completely into this world.
well, it's been a great journey. Now you are in Guru Shishya Parampara, you are continuing, and you are in making of next generation also, you are making them ready to take your mission, Guru Parampara. And also. I just want to talk about when did this Purna Vidya you really wanted, and to enlighten a lot of people, a lot of students come into your Coimbatore, this ashram. Uh, how is a Purna Vidya going to help not only students who come here? We are also putting a lot of efforts to get this into schools as a curriculum.
Yes.
How will this Purna Vidya help a child? I am a father of 11 years old girl. When I take this Purna Vidya to my daughter, how will she get benefited and evolve as a better human, as a contributor to society? If you can enlighten us, Ammaji, that would be
Yeah,
great.
yeah. Purna Vidya is a series of books. This was the vision when I was living in the US in my earlier years, seeing that the first generation children were growing up there without any basis in the Indian culture. A need was felt in that society for there to be a methodical, systematic method of teaching the Sanatana Dharma heritage to the young generation. So it was my guru's wish that I take this up, because in those years of teaching, early days in the 80s, I had a lot of young people.
Correct.
I was young and I had young people, and I had Vedantic training and
Yes.
background, and I could do some wonderful work, just enjoy their innocence, and keep putting in these pills of dharma into their mouth. And the way I found doing that was through the cultural ethos. Value education cannot be abstract. You can't just tell a child, don't steal, be truthful, don't hurt. This you need not tell. They know. They know already. If your heart will tell you what is right, what is wrong. But why this is right and why this is wrong? What is the value of a value? That value of the value should become valuable to the
The
child,
child.
not to the parent, not to the teacher. Then, as long as mom is around, I will be nice to my sibling and share the chocolate. The minute mother goes inside, I will take the chocolate back. Because it is mother's value, not my value. In schools, it is teacher's value and not my value. And therefore, to make a value valuable to a child's heart, what does it take? It takes heroes. These heroes are people who gave their lives for those values, who sacrificed for those values, who wouldn't compromise no matter what for those values. And these heroes can be contemporary heroes, can be heroes of your tradition,
Chhatrapati
of your
Shivaji.
mythology, of your itihasas, what we call the archetypes. And India has
Exactly.
taught values through archetypes. India is a great storyteller. My God, there is no civilization that has the billions of stories that we have. If any corner of Bharat doesn't have, you will create a story and then make it happen. But we have tales and tales from Panchatantra and Puranic tales, and it is just a phenomenal ocean of a literature, mythology, what you call.
To Swami
Purana,
Vivekananda,
Puranic literature, 18 Puranas, 18 Upapuranas,
Upanishads.
100,000 verses of Mahabharata. Which country in the world, who wrote a poem? Your Iliad, Odyssey, all put together is not 100,000 verses, no? Such poets were there. Kalidasa, Valmiki. Such phenomenal
Tulsidas.
inspiration. You learn the stories, how they are woven.
How
You,
Hanuman Chalisa has been brought up
wow,
by Tulsidas.
children
Yes.
absolutely gobble it up. I have seen the best way you want the value of a value to become valuable to that child. Teach values through your culture. Culture-based value education is the message of Purna Vidya. Then only your Vidya is complete. You bring yourself into it, and in little doses of lessons in Dharma, the child blossoms to become what you call a contributor in society. That was the birth of Purna Vidya. Through these 24 books, 12-year course, through playway method, lot of fun, but learning these lessons of our itihasas and Puranas, that forms half the, what you call,
The
Dharma
values.
analysis is done in about 12-year course, about 6 years goes in that. The other 6 years is a description of the sacred culture of India. We are the only culture, living ancient culture on this planet, which can boast of seeing sanctity in life as a culture, not as a concept, not as a philosophy, but as a vibrant living culture with forms and traditions believed in and followed by people of Bharat, and that is why Ganga is what she is. That's why Arunachala is what he is. That's why the banyan tree is so sacred. That's why Bhumi is worshipped. Nature is sacred for us, not secular. Music is sacred, dance is sacred. Even your dhanam, your pursuit of wealth is Baba. Mahalakshmi ki
Lakshmi.
pujan hoti hai. You worship the goddess. You are a researcher, you are a worshipper of goddess Saraswati. You are
Mahabali.
bodybuilding, all wrestling discipline houses. Hanumanji is their Ishta
Yes.
Devata, no?
The one who defeated Wali.
Yes. And so the point is we need to recognize the sanctity in our culture. Isha Vasyam Idam Sarvam is the statement of the Veda, of the Upanishads. And it's not a statement, it is a living culture. The culture pulsates sanctity, and this needs to be seen. It won't be seen by these eyes, it will be seen by the eyes of spiritual education. And therefore, Purna Vidya spends the next few years educating a person how to see sanctity in the culture of India. And the literature that goes to show the disciplines we had, the different knowledge traditions we have are phenomenal. And that is what is the comprehensive learning of
Purna.
the books.
Books,
The
yes.
books, yeah, just the books.